Welcome everyone to our new IoT tutorial, and in this tutorial we are going to create a IoT based weather station using ThingSpeak with email alerts. So basically we are going to use this Wi-Fi module ESP8266, and we are going to connect to the ThingSpeak IoT server, and after that we will be sending the weather data, basically temperature and humidity, to this server. And we are also going to send data from ThingSpeak to the Node MCU to control the LEDs which are connected to the Node MCU. So we have also integrated email alerts, the alert API of ThingSpeak, so that when this weather station we have integrated the email alerts using the brightness data. So we are going to cover this video in 5 parts. In the first part we are going to discuss the demo, and next part the requirements of this project, and the third part we will discuss the circuit diagram for this project, and in the next part we are going to see the project and explanation of the architecture, that how it is connected with various APIs of ThingSpeak, and at last I'm going to explain the code of Arduino IDE, and also going to show you how we create widgets on the ThingSpeak dashboard. So this is the dashboard of ThingSpeak, and we have created a channel weather station, and this is the data which is coming from this IoT setup, which you can see in the right side. So the first field 1 is the temperature data, the field 2 is humidity, LDR data, the status data which are coming from these two red LEDs and green LEDs, and the LDR data is from the LDR sensor, the brightness data basically, and these all are real-time data, and it is refreshing at 15 second every 15 second, which is the limitation of ThingSpeak, that you can visualize data after every 15 second for ThingSpeak dashboard. So, and these two are the labels which are showing temperature and humidity. So next we are going to we will basically see that this is the code, and we can see in the serial monitor that data is coming every 15 second. Although we have put the delay as 20 second, but due to the hardware configurations it will be updating the channel is updated every 15 second. So here we can see that temperature is 29.10 and humidity is 78.00, brightness 327, and we can also see here the same 327 is the brightness. The last value which we have got here is humidity 78 and the temperature 29.1. So 29.1 and now it's 29.0, 29 exact 29. You can see the drop there, and from the for the status LEDs, these two status LEDs are currently off, and this is the private view, but I am accessing this from the API using the API keys of the channel, which we will discuss in the session, that how I am going to connect with private channel, private view and public view both. Perfect. So let me send data from this dashboard, but we don't have any widget to send data, like we don't have any buttons or toggle switches in this ThingSpeak, so we can use the HTTP API. So the condition here is that if I send you can see that if I send value greater than 0, this will be triggered, and this will be basically turned on, and the same will be also applicable to this hardware, in the hardware device, this red LED, and the same is also here. Green is currently off, and as we send data it will be turned on. So let me send data anything greater than 0. So this is the API. Field 5 is the green LED and field 4 is the red LED, basically 814. Okay, the field 4, basically the red LED is turned on as soon as we sent the field 4 and we can see the same here, that red LED became 1. Although there is a HTTP error here, post method error, although the error, but we can see that in real time the status LED is turned on here, and the channel updated successfully. The post requests are going perfectly fine. Alert will be generated, the email alert will be generated only when this value, which is currently 312, will become less than 100. So for that we will decrease the brightness by making this sensor like this. So we can see the updated value in less than 15 seconds, at least 15 seconds or less than that. So it's currently 319. Okay, it's right now 100. So the value is 91 right now, and we can see in the serial monitor that a post method is begin and 202 status code returned. So this means that an email alert is generated using the alert API of ThinkSpeak. So we can see the email by refreshing here. Okay, so there are emails. Okay, so we have 2 emails right here. The current time, it is the current time, or 2 hours later. Okay, so this is the email which we got from ThinkSpeak, and we can send the some data here in the body of this email. So that's how the demo of this project is working. So talking about the requirement of this project, we need a ESP8266 Wi-Fi module, which you can see in the demo, and the LDR sensor and DHT11 temperature and humidity sensor. So these 3 are the requirement, and you need to have also the status, the LEDs basically, or if you don't have it, you can use the built-in LED of NodeMCU, which is on 2 pins basically, D0 and D4. So the circuit diagram of this project is as given here. You can see that I haven't integrated this status LEDs in this diagram because it is optional. You can also use the built-in LEDs of this NodeMCU. So this temperature sensor is connected to NodeMCU on pin D1, digital pin D1, and this LDR sensor is connected to A0, the analog input pin, and we are powering this module using the USB, and we are powering this DHT11 temperature sensor using the 5 volt, using the 3.3 volt. But you can also try if it is not working with 3.3 volt, you have to try with the 5 volt supply to this DHT11 temperature sensor. You can get this 5 volt supply from this V-in and ground pin here, V-in pin basically. So talking about the architecture of this project, we have this NodeMCU which is publishing the data. The data is basically the temperature sensor data and this brightness data from LDR sensor. These 2 data are published by NodeMCU. Basically it is making post request on ThinkSpeak server, and basically it is making post request on a specific channel. We have a concept of channel in ThinkSpeak, that we have to create a channel first in the ThinkSpeak server, and then we have to define API for that, and then we will get the endpoints or URLs where we can push our data, and we will see that in the next slide, in the next step basically. So talking about the dashboard, we have used this gauge, the charts basically. Charts are of many types in the ThinkSpeak. We have bar charts. Currently we are using here line chart, we can see in this slide. And talking about the alert API, we have given the condition in the sketch our Arduino code that if the LDR data coming is less than 100, then we can easily make a post request to the alert API, which is provided by ThinkSpeak. And as soon as we make this request, this email will be sent from ThinkSpeak to the email ID of of the account which is linked to our ThingSpeak account, the same email, the email will be generated and sent to that account. So let's move to our let's do some stuff, and let's create a channel. So currently this is the weather station channel, and let me see what are, okay, so we have ESP8266 weather station. Let me create a new channel name test. Perfect. And we have to give few fields here. So for one channel we can send 8 different datas. So we can send 8 different data for one channel. So field 1 we can name it as temperature data. Field 2 will be humidity data. The third field can be LDR, and we can make it red for the status of red LED, and the fifth as green. So we are using 5 fields. So this is how. And metadata tags, these fields are not mandatory to fill, so you can leave it. So here we have to save channel, and we can see that there are total 5 visualization graphs. Basically these charts are basically the visualization graphs, and we can add these type of widgets. These 3 are the widgets, and these charts are the visualization graph. Here we will move to sharing and keep channel view private. If we make this private, if we make this make this test channel as private, we have to use the API keys. We have to use the API keys, this one and this one. To write data we have to use this API key, and to read data we have to use this API key. So how do we use these API keys? So we have to make the request basically. So for writing data to a pin or to a field, basically we have created 5 field. So for writing data to like this, we have to send data. It returned 1, and we have sent field 1 as 0. And if we want to know the total data which is stored in our channel, basically this channel, this test channel, how many total data we have sent, 1 data here, field 1 is equal to 0. So we can see that, like, we have to read the channel field, make a get request on this API. Results is equal to 2, which means that there are only 2 results will be returned, but we need all results. So we will make this API call, and we can see that field 1 is equal to 0, field 2 null, null, all other things are null. Let's add one more value. Field 1 is equal to like say 23, and field 2 is equal to 55. So it returned 2, which means that there are 2 entries in the field in the ThingSpeak database, and we can refresh this API to get the total number of data feeds. So we can see that field 1 is 23, field 2 is 55, and this is how it is storing the data, and we are making the request. And here you can see that we are using the API keys to make the request. So it totally depends on you, what is your requirement. According to that you will change the settings. So I will change the setting to everyone, and that's it. We don't have to save anything, it is already saved here. So the next step is to go for this, let's add the widgets. You can see that the visualization also, after adding these 2 entries, field 1 is 0 and it's now 23. So it's 0, temperature you can see here 0, and it's 23. So that's how this visualization works. And let's remove these few visualizations, and you can also change the type of graph, which I am discussing in the starting of this session, that we can change the type of this. Like, this is a chart, but we can change it from line chart to bar chart or column chart basically. Let's save it. You can see it here, it is 0 and now it's 23, and we can also update it. Let's make it 55. Okay, third entry. Okay, So it takes very less time. You can see it's updating in real time almost, but it is around it the refresh rate of this is 15 second, which is said in the documentation of this ThingSpeak server. So this is how this is working here, 55 to 55 humidity. And let me add few more widgets here. The gauge for our LDR data, let's name it LDR. Let's field 3 we are using the gauge data in field 3, which we have to use in our Arduino sketch, which I am going to discuss in the next part of this session. So minimum value, maximum value, let's make it maximum value 600. The range and the color, so update interval 15. We can't reduce this thing, so let's make it range from 0 to 400. It is in the green region first, then it will become yellow. Like let's make it 300, and 300 to 400 becomes 0, 255, 255 and 0. And after that, after 400 to 600, which is the maximum value, minimum and maximum, we can make it as red, 255, 0, 0. So this is how we have set, and click on this create button, and we can see that there are a lot of ticks here in the interval of 10. So we have to make it more. So it's 10 right now, let's make it 50 at least. Save it. Okay, now it's looking better. So let's add another widget, a lamp indicator, and let's use it for the red LED. And this red LED we will use field 4 for red LED, and the condition will be if it is greater than 0, we will turn it to red, basically 255, 0. So it will turn to red as we send data greater than 0 on field 4. So click on create here, it's created. And now let's add another lamp. Now let's add numeric display for temperature and humidity. So temperature, it is in Celsius. Let's make it decimal, and data type with 2 decimal places at least, so that this is for field 1 is for temperature data, and we have used the same field. So click on create, it's created 55 by default. Okay, not by default, it is the last value which is here, 55. So add widget, and let's add a humidity data, field 2. Humidity will be in percent, so let's make it decimal 2 with 2 decimal places. Create, and 55%. So let's send few data from the API, from API calls, then we can proceed further. Let's make few API calls. So you can see that public view in the we have created all those things in the private view. In the public view, currently we have only the visualizations of all the 5 fields. So to add widgets in the public view, we can add it, and we don't have to use the API keys in the Arduino sketch, as well as in the API calls here in this HTTP API calls. So that's how it's working. So we have to first send some data, like in the private view. Basically we are using the private view of this dashboard. So field value unavailable, LDR data, let's send some data for LDR. Like LDR is in field 3, let's make it field 3. Don't need to send everything, let's just send field 3 as 555. Okay, data sent. We have to wait so that it will update. So the refresh rate of this is 55. Okay, it's here, we can see that. Let's send some data on this red LED so that it will be turned on. So anything greater than 0. So for red LED we have to send on field 4. Let's send data field 4 is equal to 5, and okay, it will respond in few seconds. Let's send field 5 as well. Okay, the response is 0, which means that it is not updated. So we have to make another response. Okay, now it's updated. It will the green LED will also update because we have make a API call to this API with field 5 is equal to 78, which is greater than 0, and you can see that a few seconds ago this is also updated. So that's how each of these widgets are working. So now let's jump to our Arduino sketch and understand the working of the Arduino sketch. So ThingSpeak basically provide the library itself. So you can't find that library in the manage library section, so you have to download the zip file. So I will provide the link of this library, which is 286 stars, and it is the popular library to connect to ThingSpeak and to send or receive data from ThingSpeak. So we have used the same library here, and we have also used this another sketch which is doing the same thing. So in this sketch we are making the API calls using the ESP8266 HTTP client. So it is same thing as we are making this HTTP calls from this browser. So we can see here that first we are importing this ThingSpeak ESP8266 Wi-Fi for enabling the Wi-Fi feature of ESP8266. DHT.h is for reading the DHT11 temperature data, and this client for making the HTTP post and get calls here. So we are making HTTP post call basically for basically we have to jump to our architecture for understanding this in more clarity. So we are making HTTP post request every 20 seconds, as we have seen in we can see in the so we are making HTTP post API calls every 20 seconds here from this Arduino IDE sketch. We can see here we can see here that the delay for every call is 20,000 millisecond, which is 20 seconds. So these API calls are making to this weather station channel. Basically this channel, the channel is defined by the channel ID. So you have to replace the channel ID. So we have created this test channel, so channel ID is this one. Just copy it from here and paste it right here. Perfect. So then we have my write API, my read API. So these two API are needed if we are using the private view. If we want anyone to access the same this widgets using iframes, basically what I mean to say here is, if you click on this button here, so if you click on this button, here is the iframe. If you copy it, if you create a check.html file and paste that same iframe, let's paste it, edit this HTML file, you are not able to access that iframe basically. So you can see that we can able to access this this private window in this view because we have already enabled the feature. We have already enabled the sharing. But if we keep the channel this one, let's refresh this, and now let's refresh this page. You don't have permission to view that channel. That is the difference. If you want to make this private window accessible to anyone, you have to share this channel. And although you have to use the API keys, the read API key and write API key, both one, for reading and writing the data. So let's make it public for now, and just copy this thing. This is the right API key, and in the Arduino sketch paste it here, and for read API key copy this thing and paste it right here. So we have 5 fields totally: field 1, field 2, field 4, field 5. These 5 integers are defined here. Wi-Fi client, HTTP client, this is the client, this is the class which is defined inside the ESP HTTP client, and we have defined the variables here. Initialize the DHT sensor. This sketch is start from the setup method, and in the setup method we have initialized the basically the pins, the red and green, basically 2 pins are there for which are used as output, and A0 is the input pin which is connected to the LDR sensor, and DHT.begin is for initializing the DHT sensor. And now we are going to connect to our Wi-Fi using this Wi-Fi.begin method, and after that we are going to initialize the ThingSpeak using the ThingSpeak class. So after setup method we know that loop will be executed regularly. So first we are making 2 API calls, 2 method call, basically read channel field 4. We are reading the field 4 value and we are reading the field 5 value basically. So how we are going to read these values? So you have to see here that for reading the data, this is how you read it. Read a channel field. For reading a field we have to make such type of API calls. You can see here fields 1.json. 1.json, what does it mean? It means that field 1, every field 1 data which is there inside this database of ThingSpeak, it will be returned. So this is how we are reading the data. So we are reading field 4 and field 5 data basically. So if we check the 4, we have almost every value as null right here. One value is 5, and if we are actually talking about, every time we are talking about real-time data, so we have to use that result is equal to 1 here, so that we will get the last value. So in the backend basically these type of API calls are generating by this library basically. So we can't see that HTTP API calls here, but in the second sketch which I have written, you can see and understand how actually the API calls are working. So actually this API call is working and we are getting the feed data here like this, basically a single result. This is the real-time feed data of field 4. Basically the red LED is currently null, and if you want to make some value we can do it like 99. Okay, it's done. Let's refresh it and we can see that real-time value is 99 here. So that's how it's working. So we are discussing after reading these field 4 and field 5, we are going to use this field 4 and field 5 values. Basically after reading this value, we are storing this red value, this data, the data which we are getting here, the field 4 99 and field 5, it can be anything, in the green value variable, red val and green val. So these 2 variables are also we are going to write these variables in our next database API call. So the database API call is for this library is we are going to do in this manner. So what we are doing here is we are making using a single method call. We are like ThingSpeak.write fields, multiple fields are written. So we are writing multiple fields here, including the red val and green val, which we get from these 2 methods, so that we can write these data to the database, to the ThingSpeak database basically. So this is equivalent to the API call which I am writing right here. Let me write a API call. Okay, field 4 is equal to 1. Okay, 99. So we have this thing, and field 3, field 2, field 1, and we have field 5. So this is the API call in which we are sending all the 5 field data, and in the same way this Arduino Sketch is sending the 5 fields data using this write fields method. And if it is the success response code is 200 which is returned, then we can show that channel updated successfully on the serial monitor. Otherwise we will show problem updating channel, and all this 5 data will be updated in the dashboard. So that's how this is working. That's how the Arduino Sketch is working in this project. And apart from it, we have send email alert. Okay, we have to discuss this last thing before closing this session. So we can see that send email method is right here in the last, and we can see that this method, after reading the LDR data, we are checking if LDR data is less than 100. If it is less than 100, we are calling this method, and this method is basically making a HTTP post request. As you can see in the architecture, that it is if LDR HTTP post to alert API. So for alert API, you can see that this documentation, I will share the link of this. Let me bookmark this. So I will share this link. The alert API schedule emails to be sent when you send a request to api.thingspeak.com/alert/send, which we are doing right in the Arduino Sketch. Alert/send, and we have to set the headers. We are setting the headers here. So ThingSpeak alert API key, you will get this API key from the profile. Basically in this section you will go for my profile, and after that here you can see no API key actually, so you need to click on this button. So clicking on this button will generate API key like this. So simply copy it from here and paste it right here. So apart from that, we are sending the data, basically the subject and message of that email using this body of the post request. So subject is alert from ThingSpeak and message is LDR crosses the threshold. So we can see in the email as well that we can see the subject alert from ThingSpeak. This is the subject we have written, and the body, you are receiving this email because the ThingSpeak alert received alert from ThingSpeak. This is the body and this is the subject. So that's how it is integrated. And as we get a response code of 202, basically this is the response code. We don't have to check this condition because HTTP code OK is configured as 200 here, so we don't need this here. So we can replace this thing by 202, which is the response code we are expecting, because we have to if we see the documentation here, okay, it's loaded now. So we can see here that the HTTP status code of successful email sent is 202 accepted. So we will check if it is 202. We will show that it will be accepted and the email alert is sent. So that's all for this video. You can like, share and subscribe for more videos like this. And if you have any idea, join us to collaborate, or if you want to develop any IoT based project, please contact us. Thank you.